What is going on, guys? Happy Sunday, market open. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We got a week before the Super Bowl. We got a new market session open. We even got a buy signal, baby. Ton of volume already in the markets, guys. We've got a couple charts that we're already looking at. We're going to go over them together. So appreciate you guys joining. Without further ado, we are going to jump right into it. I know typically we have a couple things to go over. I do want to mention one thing, though. For appreciate everybody that's been coming back over and over again, all the people that have been in the stream. We are very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. And like I said, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we are going to do a giveaway. 3 lucky people are going to get full lifetime access to VIP as well as my indicator, which you can see on the screen here. Lifetime access. So without further ado, let's hop into it. USD JPY looks like a buy, guys. You know we love some USD JPY. Euro JPY is at a very key level. This was market session open last week. We are going to put that as a yellow resistance zone. This is a very strong key level right here. We are going to watch this. According to our strategy here, trading with Matt indicator, we don't have a buy signal yet. We did just get one on USD JPY though. USD JPY also opened bullish. So if you take a look at the 15-minute chart here, we got a buy signal. It opened bullish. I'd like to see it retest the CMA ribbon, but it looks like USD JPY is going to be our play tonight. We're just going to kind of hope for a retest here down near this area. If we look at the technicals on this, everything's pretty much a buy. We have EMA closure above the ribbon. We have a break of a key zone. So again, we'll draw this kind of out for you here, but your key zone was really right here. You kind of had a key zone here, but your minor zones are really up here. This was market session open last week. So we're going to be looking at USD JPY and Euro JPY. Euro JPY still got to break that previous high that we're talking about. Miguel, what's going on, man? How are you? Hope you're having a great day. Euro AUD with a gap up. A lot of the market opens are gap ups or gap downs. When we talk about gap ups and gap downs, typically they come back to try and retest the zones. Another day in paradise, baby. You know it. Typically, they try and come back and retest the zones before they go either this way or this way. This one's too soon to tell on Euro AUD. Sydney Stopforth, what's up? Looking forward to the session. You and me both. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. AUD USD with a massive gap down. Got a sell signal a couple hours ago. But massive, massive gap down on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. Looks like we may see some lows here this week. I would expect a break and retest before we see anything substantial move to the downside. But that's going to be one that we're going to want to note as a sell. But huge gap down to start and open up the session. Jose Nunez, what's up, man? Good to have you in the stream. Appreciate you joining. Gold's dropping. US dollars moving up. I really like the USD JPY trade a lot. But we are going to do our full analysis. NZD, not really a chart we're going to touch. Just based off market structure, I can already tell. It's trading within zones, guys. So we have our key supports here, our key resistances. I should say resistance and support. Right here, we're trading in between it. This is called consolidation. We don't trade on that. As you guys know, this is the dead zone right here. Unless you can get a key reversal at a key zone, we don't like to trade dead zones. It's a really good way to lose money, and that's called guessing. That's not a calculated risk. GBP USD, same thing. Nothing to see here. Adele, good morning from your part of the world. GJ, massive gap up. Looks like we're coming down to retest the EMA ribbon here, and then maybe possibly see it shoot up. GJ is a mystery right now. Again, I really need to adjust this zone too, but this zone is still somewhat valid. This was Market open last week, so we're looking at market open this week as high. We could be seeing an uptrend and this finally move toward the top side here at this 214.5 area. Certainly a possibility. GJ, we're going to mark as a yellow folder, though. It did open bullish, so that is a good thing to note. A lot of these other ones, I don't like the charts. Euro CHF, very, very strong support. Dating back to... Might have to look at the week. Yeah, this is going to reject. It should. It's at a low for... Oh boy, that's the week chart. We might have to go to the 12-month chart. It has not been this low in... Oh boy, I don't know if it's ever been this low. Hold on. Yeah, it has not been this low in a long time. So, realistically, Euro CHF, we should see some rejection at this point. We can't find a time in the past 3 decades on this chart where it's been this low. With that being said, possibly a buy. We'd want to see a little bit more confirmation, but this is about as low as this chart's ever been. At least as far back as my chart's going, I went all the way down to the 12-month, so each candle is a 12-month candle. We weren't able to see anything this low. So the euro to the franc, Euro CHF, should see some pickup back this way. If we look at the day chart, yeah, you're certainly getting some movement back upwards and rejection off a very, very strong low, I should say, not support. It is a support, but it's a low, like a lifetime low, at least for as far as our charts go back for trading view purposes. So, looks like a buy to me. Not a fan of this chart. Strong uptrend, no reversal. This is the day. We're going to drop down to the 4-hour here. Looks like we had this chart kind of go into a zone, drop below it. We're going to want to wait and see if this is a retest on the EMA ribbon to come back down or if this is truly a reversal. So we're not touching USD CAD. GBP CAD, not touching it. NZD, JPY, not touching it. We've got some big moves at market open. Some really big moves at market open. But some of these charts are just, they're a little risky looking. Get this off there. That looks like a sell. We'll hold on to that. And then we're going to unflag the rest of these because we already have enough charts to look at. So, based off our top-down analysis so far, USD JPY seems to be the best chart. Reason being, EMA ribbon flip. We are getting our retest, which is good. We said we wanted a break and retest of a key zone. I'd like to see it break this yellow line. That would be a really good indication that this is going to move forward. Would be a solid indication that this is going to continue toward the upside. So that's our USD JPY trade that we're looking at. We're going to put this right here because this was market open. We need key candle closures above that key level. Yes. It looks like we got a break and retest of the highs, which were right here from last week. After market open, it came down quite a bit and just kind of hung out in between these zones. Right in between these two zones right here and here. We finally broke it right here, guys. It looks like we're getting a break and retest. Could see it toward the upside. Our next move is going to be this zone. So with that being said, if we were to take buys, which I believe the market is going to end up giving us, Stealth FX, what's going on? If I am correct here, the market should look and give us over 200 pips this week. I believe we should see the dollar rebound. You're going to have a new chair in charge here. I believe Trump's... what's going on, Stealth? Trump's going to be appointing someone new this week if he hasn't already. So it looks like the dollar might rally on us here. Euro JPY, again, going back to this one. Very strange dip toward the end of the week where we had it drop off. And now we're stuck in between a rock and a hard place here. What I mean by that is a key zone. Market open from last week and our EMA ribbon that serves as a support. Again, we're stuck in between no man's land right now. Your support and your resistance. We don't want to trade in the middle here. We want to see a break and retest, have it go up, or a break and retest, have it go down. We want to see one of those before we got in any trade on this chart. A new Fed chair tomorrow. Is that what it is? Tomorrow it is? That makes sense. And I think we're going to see the dollar go. I mean, it's just no one liked Powell. We're going to see it go. You also have red folder news tomorrow for the dollar, manufacturing PMI. That's going to be your Institute of Supply Management for the US dollar. If the actual is greater than the good, we'll be good. Fast money, huh, Stealth? There you go, man. Euro CHF, again, like we talked about, very strong support. This is an extremely low low. We're going to actually write that out. Extremely low. Possible buys. So we're going to keep that on the chart there, being that this is so far down from where it's ever been. It's consolidated pretty much at this zone for 3 days and 5 hours. We should see it move back up at least for 15 to 50 to 70 pips, because you'd have your market structure would be here, your next market structure would be here, and your next market structure is going to be up here before finally reaching the top way up here. But there's your key zones that you'd mark out if you were to take buys here. And again, you'd be looking at 16, 38, 71, and 100 pips. Can be a very good trade right there. I do like the bullish momentum. I do like that it is at an extremely low low. It should be reversing again, but I'd like to see it break the highs and have at least a candle closure above the EMA ribbon. That's just something that I'd like to personally see, but we'll see what happens there. Moving on, AUD USD, major gap down. We're in between a zone right here. I'm actually going to put it like this to make it a little easier to see. Major gap down and retest. Yeah, I don't like trading the 15, the 5, and the 1. I feel like sometimes you end up trading against the overall trend because you need to look at the bigger picture. But again, everybody has their own way of trading. If it works for you, awesome. I personally don't like the 5 and the 1 too much. A lot of nuisance, a lot of little movements that can make you second guess your trade. I like my system best on the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame. That's how I've always traded it. That's what's been more profitable for me. So with that said, I'm going to stick with that. But you are correct, Stealth. Fast money, either way, up or down. GBP CAD, we had a full rejection of this zone. A zone that we've been holding for not very long. Not very long. Back through the 5th of January. So about a month here. This zone is somewhat strong. It's certainly holding up. But the good news is on GBP CAD here, we do have a big green candle. And it looks like we're going to get a candle closure above the EMA ribbon. With that being said, could look for 70 pips. Again, your first point's going to be right down, would be top of the zone, really. Your second one's going to be kind of bottom, right there, where the structure consolidated. And then your final would be up here. Now, what I'm doing, guys, is setting up charts. So once we get our confirmations or our buy or our sell signal, we can get in and already have our charts marked. It's super, super, super important to make sure that you have your charts properly marked before you get in trades. And there's a couple reasons why. One, if you have your chart marked wrong, you might be looking at a bad support or a bad resistance or a bad key zone. Two, you want to make sure you got your reversal right and your overall trend, especially on a higher time frame. So if we look at the 4-hour chart here, this is an uptrend. I'll explain to you why. Higher lows and higher highs. This is an uptrend. A very long, drawn out uptrend since December, but it's been on an uptrend. This is an overall uptrend. So for those of you looking to define downtrend or uptrend, it can be defined as higher highs and higher lows, whereas inversely, if we drop down to the 1 hour, you can define this 1 hour chart as lower highs here and lower lows here, meaning it's on a downtrend on the 1 hour. So depending on what you are actually trading on, what time frame is going to dictate what it looks like. Rafu, thanks for the W, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you dropping in. So again, going back to our main point here, I'm marking my charts up ahead of any trade. I don't have a certain trade in mind. We know we like USD JPY for a couple reasons, but we are not set on a chart. What we're doing is marking up our support and our resistance zones, marking key levels, waiting for our rules. What are our rules? EMA ribbon flip, fair value gap created, full candle closure above the EMA ribbon, and a reversal at a key zone. That's the rules right there. The fifth can be the technicals. If you wanted to use the technicals on TradingView, that can be your other confirmation. But this one's not always correct. That's just all the technicals are on TradingView is moving averages, oscillators, and then a summary of the two. Again, it can be a very, very good tool to use, but it is not something to only rely on. Very, very good tool. But the middle summary right there is good. Closed you out, then hit TP. We all been there, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better for you. I truly mean that. I hope it gets better for you. Last try, row. GBP NZD. Love the break of structure here. For those of you that don't know what break of structure is, I will explain it on this chart real quick here. As you can see, it's been in a downtrend for a little bit here. On the 4-hour chart, we had a break and retest. I'm not doing futures. I'm trading foreign exchange, man.
Creativity is not something I wait for.
So what we have is a break of structure here and a rejection of a very strong zone here. So what we're going to draw up here, this is our support right here. So we've got our support drawn, right? We have our, I'm sorry, resistance. My bad, guys. There's our resistance. Here's our support, right? We broke through it. So our break of structure is right here. Here's our break of structure. Right here is our break of structure. Now we're retesting this zone to possibly drive down. Now, if we want to look at where our next zone is, we're going to need to zoom out a little more. Very, very bearish week. Very bearish week open. Our next zone for this chart is essentially going to be down here. And then the next zone below that is going to be down here. Again, very bearish week. Could be finishing off an M pattern that's over almost a year and a half old. So if you're looking at a pattern here, you see the M. This would be your weak candle that just opened. I would assume that this is going to, based off price action, this is going to retrace this wick for 120 pips by the end of the week. Now, is it something that we could take tonight on a smaller time frame? Certainly. Certainly. Your next zone right here, again, we talked about how many pips it was. I don't see it moving 118 pips tonight, but the rejection that we just had on this new hour candle was huge. Not something I think I'd necessarily get in tonight based off where the EMA ribbon is in relation. But let me get our... Last one, EuroCAD. EuroCAD, guys. Hop to the 4 hour. We'll do our top-down analysis. Hop to the 4 hour, EuroCAD again. Rejection. Dating back to not that long ago. Actually, August 28th. We've had 3 areas of attention that we need to look at here. We rejected here. We rejected here. We actually rejected here again. And we rejected here. Looks like an uptrend. However, EMA ribbon is about to be in the way. We do not trade when something's coming into the EMA ribbon, because typically when it comes into an EMA ribbon, it uses it as a support, as it did here, or it could use it as a resistance, as it did on the way down here. So there's not much room for that one to grow. We're just going to unflag that one. Not even going to look at that chart the rest of the night. GBP NZD, I'm going to keep as a red chart. I have it with a red folder on it for sells. But we're going to watch this one closely. The day and the week chart are extremely bearish. Extremely bearish. Overall, on the technicals, on the week, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the day, pretty much everything's a sell. Going back to the top here, the chart that we like the most, USD JPY. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour here. Benny, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the stream. Glad to have you. We also like these fair value gaps. Very strong buy signals here. We just want to make sure we're not getting faked out. That is, really important here. Make sure we're not getting faked out. We had our break. This looks like our retest, and it looks like we could go for these levels up here that we talked about. I will draw the levels out on trading view here on the 1 hour time frame for USD JPY. And these should all be green. Sorry about that, guys. Kind of anal about my charts, but it means I care, right? So again, buys on USD JPY is what we're looking for. We do not have full confirmation yet, but that is currently what we are looking for. Break and retest is what it's looking like here. Euro JPY. Everything's looking good, man. We have our full candle closure above the EMA ribbon on Euro JPY, but we do not want to get faked out by this zone right here. Critical zone. That's why I have the yellow line right here. This is a very critical zone that we need to break. We haven't broken it. You've got some inverse fair value gaps. You've got some positive fair value gaps. You've got your EMA ribbon flip, and we've got a confirmed uptrend. This pretty much consolidated. This was, what, market open last week? This is pretty much consolidated within these zones, which is a big zone. Don't get me wrong. This is a 200 pip zone, a tradable zone nonetheless, but not something that we want to get in without confirmation that it is in fact a reversal or a key support or resistance. Euro CHF, like I said, extremely low lows. We haven't seen those this low. Nova Burgundy. Yeah, I only analyze currency pairs. This strategy works on other pairs, of course. It works on everything. Futures, crypto is subjective to news, but it works on pretty much everything. Good question, though. Good question there, Nova. Again, we have extremely low lows here on Euro CHF. The lowest lows that we've seen to date is what I've been able to tell. Again, we can go back to 12-month candles. If you go to 12-month candles, yeah, that's 1972 right there. This chart has quite literally been dropping. Euro CHF has been dropping since 1972. We don't trade on We don't trade on week time frames or day time frames really, but you'd assume that being this low, we're going to get some sort of rejection. We've seen it happen a couple times where it reached a low, went back up. It reached a low, went back up. It looks like we are consolidating right here at this low level right here. But again, it's an unprecedented low, similar to what we talk about with gold. The number one reason I don't trade gold is what happened last week. You're 1 year old. I wasn't even born. Similar reason why we don't trade gold. I think most everyone in this chat knows I do not trade gold. The fact, and I'm not saying anything bad about other traders. I respect everyone. The fact that there were people buying up here thinking that it was still going to keep going when we had been buying for quite literally. Oh, I even got to go further back than that. It has been parabolic since 2018. It is going to come down at some point, and I know people have made generational wealth off gold, but it has been buying up since 2018. You have small pullbacks, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Does it look like we're forming tweezer bottoms down here? 100%. Will this probably come back up to a sustainable level right around here? Probably. But I just do not trade gold. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like that it doesn't have price structure. It doesn't follow any sort of price action whatsoever, other than the fact that people put their money in it during economic uncertainty, and that is about it. So I don't touch gold. I don't trade gold. That's my reasoning. And on top of that, when you're trading at 1 to 500 leverage, it uses entirely too much of your account. Got to use very, very small lot sizes. But again, we're on the 1 hour time frame, guys. We're looking for our break and our retest. GJ looks solid, guys. GJ looks really solid. I like GJ a lot. This was our market open from last week. I like GJ a lot. It broke and it retested. I personally would not have a problem getting in GJ. Probably going to want to see what happens with this 4 hour. But GJ on the hour looks solid. You've got two fair value gaps in play here. You've got a full market open above the EMA ribbon, confirmed uptrend, and your technicals are strong buys. I like GJ buys. GJ buys look real solid. We also got the buy signal on the trading with Matt indicator, which every rule that I just went over with the ribbon flip and all that stuff, full candle closure above it, fair value gap, and support or resistance zone. This indicator does all that. So we already got a buy signal. Now, did it already make the move is the question. It went for 77 pips when it gave us the buy signal. Was that the move, or is this the break that we had and retest and we should go back up this way? That's to be determined. But 3 candles holding above a fair value gap looks solid to me. Nova, good question. Pretty new, what would give you the green light for a GJ buy? Sure. We'll go over it together here. So, looking at the chart here, we have our support and our resistance zones. The yellow bars, the long yellow bars, are support and resistance zones, key levels. The yellow line was market open last week, right here, when GJ gapped down. This week, we gapped up for market open. This is a gap up. Here, I will turn the indicator off to give you a clean chart. Gap down from last week, right? This was last week market open. Gap down, and it stayed down here all week. It tested it once or twice, but that wasn't toward the end of the week. This week, market open was a gap up. Gap up signifies that you're going to have a bullish week. That's just typically what that means. But let's put our indicator back on here because these are some of our rules. We've signified that this is an uptrend. That's rule number 1. We have a full candle closure above the EMA ribbon with a previous candle closure that's also bullish. So this full candle, all above the EMA ribbon, signifying that we are moving toward what is called the upside. Third, we have a fair value gap on the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart that has been created. The 4-hour one has held down here for, let's drum roll here, going on 4 days and 8 hours. That is an extremely strong fair value gap. Extremely strong. Yes, we did have a drop off down here where it drove through it, but it came back and essentially held this fair value gap. This fair value gap is a very strong fair value gap. With the market opening up to a gap up, a candle closure above the EMA, a strong reversal of above a key level, and technicals saying buy, we have pretty much 4 rules right there that indicate that this is a buy to us. Does that make sense to everybody? I want to make sure every single person that's in here understands that. Again, guys, I'm streaming on here for free. So I'm only here for you to ask me questions. I'm taking these trades on my own regardless of if people watch me or not. But if you have questions, this is your chance to get free advice. Mission Crowny, what's going on? Desmond, what's going on? Good. Good to see you guys back. We have a record right now, too, guys. We are very close to 1,000 subs. At 1,000 subs, I'm giving away 3 free lifetime uses of the indicator, the Trading with Matt indicator, and all VIP-related groups and my ebook. Lifetime. So once 1,000 people are subscribed to the YouTube channel, anyone in the Discord is going to be put into a wheel that I'm going to put on screen. We're going to spin it, and 3 free people are going to be given lifetime access to the indicator and the VIP groups. Again, there's still free groups. I could care less if you buy VIP or not. I'm not the kind of trader that pushes that on people, but some people want extra attention. Some people want hands-on learning. Some people want one-on-one, and if you want that, that is totally fine. But if you don't, I've got a ton of free shit available. Nova, good question. We analyze on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. We'll execute on the 15-minute sometimes, but most of the time we execute on the 1-hour. 15 minutes into a 1-hour most of the time. We like to see what happens. You can't join the Discord, or you should be able to. Should be able to. If not, Adele will hopefully fix that. Adele's my moderator. Hopefully he'll be able to take care of that. You should be able to use that. But again, we're going to look at the 1-hour right now. I really truly like the 1-hour time frame on a lot of these charts, especially USD JPY, Euro JPY, GJ. All the JPY pairs look like they are going to buy. But it's very important that we don't get faked out here. We do not want to get faked out. And what I mean by faked out is we have it break previous highs and then shoot down on us. We don't want to see that. Yeah, Dell will get you in. But again, we got the buy signal here. This indicator was custom made for me, so it's using the rules that I just explained. I don't care if you have the indicator or not, but understanding the 4 or 5 confirmations that we have is super important. Do I journal my trades? Yeah, I mean, I use the what's the word I'm looking for? I use the analytics that my broker gives me. You know, I'll review them every week, but I don't physically handwrite them down. With technology these days, I mean, it journals it for you. But do I go back over and look at them? For sure. I'm at the point in my trading career, though, where journaling is not something that is going to necessarily make or break my strategy. I've been trading for 15 years, so I've done my fair share of journaling, and it totally helps when you're first starting. Agreed. Once you have your system down, as long as you can use the analytics that your broker has, the analytics are so good these days. You can run your own reports based off what lot size you used, what loss percentage, what win percentage. I could run what I did on USD/JPY during the hours of 1 and 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. So there's so much now within these brokers that you don't need to physically hand journal, but a lot of people learn from writing, so I totally get that. If someone wants to learn from writing, more power to them. It's always good. It's always good. Never going to discourage journaling. Just where I'm at in my trading career, I use what the broker gives me to analyze. More of an analytical numbers guy. So, good question though, and I think everyone that's just starting out should journal, or at least learn how to read the analytics that your broker gives you, so you can better learn where your mistakes were made. You may notice a pattern. For instance, you may be getting in at a high and always taking a loss and losing on drawdown. Or you may be getting in at a low thinking it's a low and have it go down. Do I manifest? No, I fully believe in that. You put in the work that you get. If you work hard, good things will come. If you want to slack off, good things won't come. You get what you put into life. You get what you put into life. If you put your all into trading and you don't give up, you'll make it. I'm still giving my all into trading 15 years later. And it's paid off for me. Life's hard. Choose your hard. It's hard to make it in day trading. It's hard to get a high-paying job. It's hard to get into college. It's hard to use your college degree. I've got 2 of them. Does it mean I'm more successful than someone else? No, it doesn't. Benny, when you zoom in on your screen, it's hard to read. Let me see here. Is anyone else having trouble with that? I don't think so. Which stream are you on? I'd go on the horizontal stream. I have a vertical stream for people that are on mobile, and I have a horizontal stream for people that are on their PCs or want to actually watch it, see the whole chart, because I've got a couple monitors here, and the one monitor that's sideways is showing the entire chart as well as the volume. I'd suggest using the sideways one. Nova, good question. Yeah, drawdown will test you for real. Drawdown will certainly test your man or womanhood for real. But I do my top-down analysis. Personally, I draw it out. The strategy does it for me too. I don't have it clicked, but if I click show support and resistance, it draws it for us. It's got all of our supports, all of our resistance. It draws it all out. This strategy literally has everything. I just don't want to make my chart too crazy looking on stream. I think it makes it more complicated. I really probably will take the fair value gaps off, but they are very important key parts to to our strategy. But I know where the fair value gap is. You guys too that we just talked about it. But fair value gaps are very important parts of the strategy. So, but this draws out everything that we've talked about. The indicator draws it all out. So, realistically, no, I don't need to set up my own support resistance zones, but I still do. I truly believe when it comes to indicators, Contrary to popular belief, I know AI is taking over. AI should be able to read the market for you. I think if it were that easy, make sure you're on 1080p. Make sure you have it set to 1080p. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. It will draw it all for you. The robots can make mistakes, but they only follow rules. They follow the rules, but sometimes the market doesn't follow the rules. So that's why I draw my own also. I also draw it for you guys. Because if I clear my chart, and I'm going to show you this, so I want everybody to watch this. I'm going to hide all drawings, right? I'm going to clear the chart completely and only have the indicator. This is the indicator without any, just naked 100% without any drawings. So this is the trading with Matt Pro buy and sell without anything. It shows your support and your resistance. It's the dotted lines. I could change the way it looks. This is just the way I differentiate it. It shows your the opposite of static, brain fart. It shows your dynamic support and resistances. Resistance, 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 support, support, support. It's showing you essentially the same thing I'm showing you when I put my drawings back on. See what I'm saying? They align pretty much. But again, there's sometimes with robots, see how it has its line here? I have mine up here because I know this was market session open last week. So I want to see it close above this. Different ways to look at it. But for the most part, this thing's like in the upper 80s to low 90s in terms of percentage points accurate on drawing zones. But it's a long-term buy, I agree. Yep. Yeah, I agree with you as well. No, this is not Bitcoin. This is GBP JPY. We're trading foreign exchange pairs. This is the London session open. We opened 38 minutes ago. Yeah, GJ looks great. This is GJ buy right now. We're not in it yet. We certainly could be. It's not too early. Nova said, yeah, I agree with you. The more simple the strategy, the better. Simple support and resistance zones will get you very far in trading. Will they get you everywhere? No, but they'll get you pretty far. Psychology is very, very... Psychology depends on the person. But you need to take the emotions out of trading and not let the money manage you. You manage the money. When money starts making you do different things... This is Asian session. My bad. Did I say London? I'm sorry. Sorry. My bad if I said London. This is the Asian session open. Yeah, Asian session open. For those of you that are confused here, I'm sorry. My bad. Here you go. Jesus, Matt, come on. There you go. So we're in Asian session. Tokyo. Local time there is 9:39 a.m. So they opened just a little bit ago. We'll run into London session around 4 a.m. my time. And then we'll run right into New York session Monday open. But right now we're in 3 a.m. You're correct, Miguel. Right now we're in Asian session. If you're looking to find that, that is on Forex Factory, guys. That's on Forex Factory. Take a look at the 15-minute chart here on GJ. I really do like GJ buys, to be honest with you guys. And we had a really strong movement up here. And we're retesting this zone. I think it looks solid. We're going to hold off. The indicator is not free, no. It took me a really long time to make this indicator. It's available on my website, though. No, we do not trade news at all. NFP, PPI, PMI. No, we don't trade news. And I'll explain to you why. It's a great question. Let me get to the right time frame here. Yes, here's the right time frame. This was a news candle last week, I believe. I think it was this one right here. Or was it on the AUD pairs? Who remembers? No, I think it was that Euro JPY candle. This Euro JPY candle was a news candle that happened all with 1 hour. So if you saw that it was bad news for the Euro and you ended up taking a sell, FOMC, none of it. No, we don't trade it. But yeah, it could have been. This candle went 144 pips both ways. That's a crapshoot. That's not a calculated risk. That's a gamble. That's why I don't trade news. And I know there's some people that like to use buy stops and sell stops 10 or 20 pips above market price and wait for it to hit, whether the news is good or bad. I've done that and I've been wicked out before. You get wicked up and wicked down, you hit both, and your account's gone. Hasn't happened to me in years, but I've learned my lesson there. I don't trade news. You can wait the hour. Wait the hour out until after the news. There's no reason to full port your account on news in hopes that you're going to make a couple bucks. It's not predictable. It's very unpredictable. And Nova, I have no problem with you asking questions. That's why we're here. We're all here to learn and get better in the markets. Well, if you don't have a job, it's going to be tough. But I think everybody starts out with a job. Getting really good at a skill and being able to monetize that skill is something that everybody needs to be good at. I mean, Alex Hormozy says it best. He's like, I don't care how much money you have in your bank account. In order to get to the next level in life, my answer is always going to be the same. And that is get really, really, really freaking good at one thing and go sell it to a really, really high ticket person or a ton of medium ticket people or a ton of low ticket people. You got to get good at something or go get a day job. I personally still have a full-time job. I run a very large golf course. I'm a PGA of America member, which is Professional Golfers Association. So I use that to fund my trading, but I've made enough money to trade full-time. I'm young, and I might as well do both because I can make money doing both. Yeah, that's 100% awesome. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Desmond. Just some free life advice, then. GJ looks solid here, guys. GJ looks very, very solid. I love the GJ sells. The GJ buys right now. I'm sorry. And we've got, if you notice right here, it tells us we're in the Asian session. Price is above the EMA ribbon. We're waiting for a bullish FEG. We actually already have it. It tells us what time frame we're on. It tells us what our support is. It will tell us our resistance if we had one. And it'll give us the last signal. All of it's right here, live on the indicator at all times for you. So if it's something that you're looking at, that's what you're going to want to look for. But what do we got? 15 minutes left in this hour. Strong fair value gap. Another one just created on the 15-minute too. I think long term, this is a buy. We just want to make sure we don't get faked out in this session. It's funny. Someone asked me about that the other day. They're like, why don't you have a Lambo? I was like, well, a couple reasons. One, I already drive my dream car. I have brand new Jeep Gladiator, and that thing is sick. That's the Jeep pickup truck. It's lifted. I can take it off-roading. I can take it to the beach, which is literally down the road, 10 minutes. I think people have different views on that. Like, oh, you need to have a Lambo to show that you made it. Like, I don't know, man. I've been in Lambos. I've been in Porsches. They're all right. They drive like shit under 60 miles an hour, which is what most of your driving's gonna be. Do you experience drawdown, or does your software give sniper entries? No, we experienced drawdown. Shit, we experienced drawdown in a Euro JPY trade last week that we made a ton of money on. We lost and we made on it. Like, on this trade right here, I believe we got in on this candle right here last week. And we experienced a little bit of drawdown to here before it went back up into profit up here, where we ended up taking profit up here, actually. So yeah, I think everybody experiences drawdown. If you don't experience drawdown and you're sniping everything, you must be a damn good trader. But I very rarely see everyone get sniper entries. The indicator does give good entries, though, I will say. It really, truly does. That's why I think I'm so keen on it, is that it follows all of my rules and what I want to see. Yeah, no reason to go for the home run every time. Just a bunch of small, consistent wins will lead you to the promised land. At least that's my experience trading. That 1 hour candle's solid. Solid 48 pip movement on the 1 hour candle. We should draw some zones out here. USD JPY 1 hour. Yeah, it is. Yeah, USD JPY 1 hour candle wicked up hard off that fair value gap. We're waiting for a bullish fair value gap. We have one. We actually have 3. We just want to make sure that this is going to continue up. I personally think it is. Do we have any news articles about this? Yeah. Bimbopio. Newbie here. Which Forex pairs? I mean, stay with the majors for now. USD JPY, Euro JPY, GBP JPY, any of the USD JPY pairs, GBP USD. But really, they're all going to have market structure and price action. If you can learn market structure and price action, you can trade anything. What do I think about silver? The same thing I think about gold. I don't trade it. I think they both crashed pretty heavily because they were at all-time highs. I agree with you there, Mission Crowney. I 100% agree with you there. I like the GJ volume and the GJ movement better than USD JPY because if we get a close on the hour like this, you're probably going to see a retracement down to here. You're probably going to see it retrace this wick before it goes back up. USD or Euro JPY, I need to see it break last week's high before I got into it, and it's probably going to be a break and retest before I ever got in, and then up. But right now, GJ is our top runner here. I mean, you've got some serious support with these fair value gaps right here. Yeah, my take profit zones, it's not necessarily candles, but it's areas of resistance or support from the past. Good question. But like, so here we have one. This is the bottom of a fair value gap. Our next one was right over here where we had it wick off a fair value gap. And this is just going to be the top of the zone pretty much. You really could have another take profit up here, but we rarely make it past TP2 or TP3 because I don't like to hold trades for that long. But typically these do play out. Typically these do play out for the distance. Just intraday. And I don't really like swing trading as much as getting in and out in the same session, or if not, between two sessions. Typically Asian to London. And we don't get, typically it'll hit a take profit. A lot of times we take profit on stream, where it does it within the hour. The only thing I fear on GJ right now is that our next candle, the next 4-hour candle, comes down to test this zone. That's the only thing I fear, is that we come down to test this zone, and I don't want to be a part of it if we do. Looks like you got a nice pattern here, though. The gap up is huge, and this fair value gap is huge. So, again, the momentum's going this way. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about the momentum. Good question there, Nova, though. You're provoking some very good conversation, and I appreciate that. It's good to have people asking questions because it makes for learning opportunities. A lot of really good learning opportunities. Mert Can 7, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for joining the stream. Heart Voice Nature, what's going on? How are you? Michael, what's going on? What's up, bro? Midapko, hi from Ghana. Well, we got people from everywhere in here today. Bangladesh, Ghana, Texas, Asia. It's a continent, I'm well aware. What do you think about mining companies? I don't trade them, to be honest with you, man. Small cap miners, yeah. I mean, I don't really day trade. Yeah, Yokana 26 from London. I don't like day trade stocks like that. I day trade currencies like that. So awesome, Mr. E. Appreciate you joining. Thanks for coming out. It means a lot. Nova's from South Africa. Yeah, we're all over the map in here, which is awesome. Desmond, on this chart, yes. Yes. You are correct. That is one of the rules. Netherlands, nice. There you go. Michael, want to suggest for $100 account? Very small lot sizes, like 0.01. 0.001. Very small lot sizes with small wins over time. Couple dollars here, couple dollars there, couple dollars here, couple dollars there. Build your account up. All great questions, though, guys. Sydney Stopforth. No, I know GJ's moving. Again, there's no reason to have FOMO. It's gonna move. If it's gonna move, it's gonna move. It's gonna take time. You're gonna get some. Asian session opened 55 minutes ago. That's up to you, man. We're trading foreign exchange currencies. So that's the one that you left out there, but that's what I personally trade. What would you like to know? We're currently looking at buys on GJ, which is GBP JPY, the Great British Pound to the Japanese Yen. We're using price action and market structure to execute trades on a technical and analytical level. But yeah, we certainly are moving on GJ. Realistically, you could get in it. You just have to be able to hold at most like 60 pips if it does come back to retest the zone. That's why I'm waiting. Like, there's no point in impulse getting into it at the high right here. Like, could it keep going and never come back down? 100%. But when was the last time you saw the market just keep going and not come back down other than gold? Which is why we don't trade it. It doesn't happen. So, like, I've learned patience over the years where even if you see it going up, it always comes back down before it goes back up, and comes back down before it goes back up, and comes back down before it goes up, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to wait for a good entry and not force it. This is GBP JPY. Yes, that's correct. That is 100% correct, yes. You are correct, Nova. Not all the time, but most of the time. And gold is selling. Gold is continuing its sell-off right now. Yo, Canna, we're on the we're watching the 4 hour and the 1 hour. We're watching the 4 hour and the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour right here. We're about to get a new candle here in 2 minutes. Hopefully you enter to sell. That's market open. Are you talking about here? Yo, Canna? Or are you talking about why I'm on trading the 1 hour and the 4 hour? Nobody trades the 2 hour and the 3 hour. It's not common practice in this industry. The 1 hour and the 4 hour candles and the 15-minute candles and the 5-minute candles are more common practice in terms of price action. But if you're talking about the gaps right here, that's the weekends when the market closes, and then, like Adele said, when the market closes and when it opens. Here, and then this was market open this week. Let me turn this off. That you can probably see a little better now. But yeah, it gapped down to start last week. It gapped up to start this week. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, there's no reason to rush it, man. Don't rush it. We're going to see what happens right here. We may enter on this candle. The 4 hours probably going to have a little bit of drawdown, which is what I'm assuming. But you had a bullish... it was pretty much, yeah, a bullish engulfing candle. I'd like to see it come probably halfway down this candle, like right here, and then get in. But again, you're coming into a 4 hour candle. So we typically like to wait and see what happens on the 4 hour. We typically like to see that. 4 hour candles are very important. 1 hour and 4 hours are very important candles. for at least a strategy I've trained. I'm not touching Bitcoin. It's 8 p.m. here. We're 1 hour into. I'm in Florida, Eastern Standard Time Zone. Yeah, it's 8 p.m. here. What do I think of Euro USD? We can take a crack at that. I'm not gonna find it here, but we can take a look at it. Where is Euro USD? Where are you at? Euro USD is at a very interesting point. Oof. I'd stay away, man. It's at a key level right now. It could be a reversal. So you could be looking at it reversing right here and coming back up. Or if you get a close below this, it's going to come down to this zone right here. It's not a very clear chart, to be honest with you. I can look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour shows it reversing up. You have a bullish fair value gap here. You have a green fair value gap right here. So it probably could buy up for 20-ish pips to retest this area right here, but it's I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't trust it. Yeah, they all did. This is not gold, guys. But yeah, this could be a buy. Again, you're at a support dating back to Sunday the 25th of January. But yeah, that's my take on Euro USD there, Benny. We're still watching this GJ chart. Thank you guys who have liked the stream and subscribed so far. Don't forget about the 1,000 sub giveaway. 3 people are going to get lifetime access to the VIP and my, what you see on the screen here, this map strategy. So, what setup am I using in terms of what? What sparked my interest to start trading? That you can do it from a laptop anywhere in the world. And then I realized how much more fun trading was when you have a community around you. And that's why I started live streaming every single 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday. It's just a lot more fun. But being able to make money from anywhere in the world is something that I think is amazing. It's not necessarily the money I care about, it's the freedom of not having to worry about money. And I think this gives you the ability to do it. Good question. Are we that close? Wow, we must have gained a lot this we must have gained a lot. Is it really? No, we're at 942. What'd you say? 57? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Castle Entertainment, or Castle Hill, sorry, Castle Hill Entertainment. Yeah, I mean, it's a good goal to have. it's just not made for everybody. Like, some people struggle with it, some people understand it. I think creating a good strategy and being able to replicate your strategy over and over again is important. And by the way, this is why we didn't hop in this right away, Nova, or whoever was asking about getting in right away. I don't want to hold drawdown any more than the next guy. I appreciate that, man. Exactly, Benny, you're correct. It's not for the weak. It's tough, especially doing it live, man. I was getting roasted live the other day, but the community rallied on this kid. It was actually pretty funny. And like I've said on all my streams, I don't like to talk bad about any traders, and I really won't. Appreciate it, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, just having the community is pretty cool. I get people messaging me all day asking for charts. How do I control my emotions? Honestly, it just takes time. Like, you'll see my face is pretty much going to be the same whether I made 5,000 or 10,000 or I lost 5,000 or I lost 10,000. My face is going to be the same. I'm still going to feel the same. At the end of the day, it's a job. You have bad days at work, you don't just go and quit. You have great days at work, you don't come home and just celebrate, oh, I'm so happy I have a job. You go. You go every day in and day out. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. 100%. Agreed. That's why I think it's funny when people are like, oh, you need to trade this strategy. I'm like, do you know how many strategies there are that work out there? There's a lot of strategies out there that work. There's more than one way to trade profitably. Yeah, so I go live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typically, I do one New York session, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I think I'm done with New York session once a week. About 5 years. About 5 years there. Day trading from the mud. 5 to 7 years, roughly. But yeah, Sunday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in the Discord, you'll get the notification that I'm going live. If you're subbed on YouTube and you have the notifications on, you'll get the notification I'm going live. But yeah, I think I'm done with the New York session, guys. So much news, so many catalysts that changed the direction of things that just don't make sense. Miguel, I will. Within the next 365 days, mark my words. What is today? Today is February 1st. I will start trading the London session within the next 365 days. Probably toward the end, closer to the 365th day, but it's just late. I really got to change my sleep schedule to get on the London session. Yeah, you're a day ahead, Adele. Actually, a lot of people in here are a day ahead. It's still 2-1 here. Uh, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 15 minute. It's pretty much Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 days a week. I don't trade Fridays. Yeah, London's a good session. Don't get me wrong. I like London session. I just don't like staying up that late. Yeah, typically I trade the Asian session. That's correct there. I just don't like the New York session that much. I think there's a lot of just so many catalysts and news and all this stuff. It's just a lot going on. And then you always got red folder news. So like if you go to the news tab in the Discord, it'll tell you if it's red folder news or not. Red folder news has major impact on the market. Trial and error, man. Trial and error. I always just say wait for a break. If you wait for a break and retest, you ideally will get swept out less. Or just have higher stop losses. And I know people don't want to hear that because everyone loves the RR method. But like... I'm a big fan of set and forget. But I personally enter them myself. I don't do buy stops or sell stops, really. I want to be able to press buy or press sell myself on my broker that I have up right here. But again, tomorrow in New York session, we have ISM manufacturing PMI. And then tomorrow night, we do have a lot of Australian dollar news. Buy and sell stops certainly serve their purpose. If you want to analyze a chart 100% and put your buy stops in or your sell stops and then just set your stop loss and your take profit, go for it. I know a lot of people that trade like that and do very well. I use liquid brokers. This is who I use. I personally don't care what broker you guys use, but that's who I use. Yeah, that's the best thing I've heard. That was... I'm going to give you a round of applause for that one. That round of applause goes out to you, Nova. You're paying to see if you're right or wrong. That's probably... Yeah, I just sent the link. Yeah, you're paying to see if you're right or wrong on gold. That is the best way I've had that put. Heard that put. I can't fucking speak today. Very well put there. I don't know if they let you trade liquid brokers in South Africa. It's a good question. You can always try. Just click the link and try and open an account and see if it lets you. No, I trade, well, I've got two accounts. One's ECN and one's VIP. I would suggest ECN for everyone, personally. I would trade ECN. Yeah, AAAFX, I've heard of that. I think we actually talked about that, Miguel. This thing might end up wicking upward. I'd go with ECN, though. If you're just starting out, they give you really good spreads, and the commission's not insane, but the spreads are good. The spreads are really good. Because you don't want to be executing trades, 7, 8, 9 pips off of market execution from what the actual market's at. You want to have tight spreads. Yeah. Yep. Yep, that's the one. No, I do not. That's a term coined by a certain trader that I know a lot of people like. I just think his terminology is very confusing. A flow order, order blocks, it's support, resistance, fair value gaps. It's all the same thing. What's highway robbery? Executing 9 pips off? Yeah, it is. It really is. Check out some of these other charts real quick. USD JPY looks a lot better now. Euro JPY looks like it's going to break it and go. Yeah, Euro JPY closed really solid on that last hour. They do in Zambia. Yeah, I don't like trading in hindsight. Can't hindsight trade there, Adele. Waiting for our rules, like we always do. I know you're kidding, though. Tell you what, I like that, I like the Euro JPY buy a lot. The M pattern on which time frame there, Miguel? Certainly not the 4. What time frame and what chart? ASD Ollie. I don't trade gold, man. It's dropping off though, and it's dropping at a key zone. So I don't trade gold though. Yeah, I agree. Probably will retest, which is why we're waiting for the 4. You're probably right. Which, again, by the time it completes it, it's going to probably be 9 o'clock when the new 4 comes out. We'll get a little bit of retracement. But I'm not necessarily risking taking the 32 pips, risking that it goes down on an uptrend. Yeah, but where's the bottom? Market open? I don't know if they're coming all the way back down here. You know what I'm saying? We've already kind of established in a zone right here that looks like a new support. Again, a zone is not just a line. It's a zone for a reason. We may come back down into it, but I think we're going to end up rejecting and going this way. I could be wrong. But again, that's why that's why I'm waiting. That's why I'm not in anything yet. Yeah, they're dropping. I just don't want to trade against an uptrend. You know what I mean? Yeah, Euro JPY does look good. Let me get off this 5-minute chart. I do not like the 5-minute chart. Euro JPY looks good, and it has the volume. All of them do. USD, Euro CHF. Did that ever end up going? Extremely lows, possible buys. We ended up getting a little bit of a reversal here. Could finish off the W pattern for TP1 right here. Only 11 pips, but 11 pips is 11 pips. Profit's profit, guys. TB2 would be like roughly 30. They all have insane volume right now, actually. Yeah, we only need about 20, 25 pips. Oh, look at GBP CAD went. We were right on that one. Already at TP1. Already went for 19. Should see it either retest or just go to the next zone. Should see it either retest and come back up or just go straight to the zone. Ideally, you're going to see pullback at some point, though. Like I said, most charts don't just go parabolic. Except for gold. I still like that GBP NZD sell, but I don't know. That head and shoulders is kind of scaring me, so I think we're going to stay out of that one. Unflag that. Go back to GCAD. GCAD looks good. At AUD, USD's trade gapped up and is coming back down. Gapped down and rejected the open. This now looks like it's coming back down. Wow, 55 more subs till we hit 1,000. That's pretty awesome. That's insane, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'm providing some value to you guys. That's the goal. We got almost everything we wanted here on USD JPY. I'd really like to see it break the line here. This needs to be yellow. There you go, Smith. Ryan, aren't you at a hockey game? But yeah. It was a busy day, man. That was, I think, 2 days ago. It was a busy golf tournament. Appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Yeah, in Jupiter, south of here. Basically downloading money, huh? Downloading knowledge. We're not in anything yet. I think we will end up making some money tonight, but the knowledge is flowing. We have all the match strategy in the top corner there, guys. Oh, I guess I can't really point to it. But the match strategy right here, it has all the things that you need. All of the rules. So, all the rules are being met on all of these. We're just waiting for the right entry. That's it. I do like the Euro JPY buys, though. A lot. Only got 35 minutes left in this candle. In this hour candle. We actually got the buy signal on the 15-minute here. After it closed above this fair value gap, guys. The indicator actually gave us the buy signal right here. On the 15-minute. Yeah, it's a good question there, Nova. Time. Time really tells. Time tells. And obviously it can't break through the entire fair value gap. Once it's through it, it's done. You can start anywhere $300 to $500. Here's what I say. If you have discretionary income, if you have money to invest, and you actually want to get started, and you want to use a live account, $300 to $500 is more than enough. If you want, yes, this is bullish, Luke's. But you can start with whatever you can afford. It's good. You're gonna take losses, but that's why risk management is so important. You have to use the proper lot size. But I think minimum is 300 to 500. Maybe 1 to 200 if you want to start with small lots. Just understand you need to trade with small lot sizes. It's hard to put a number on it, but I would say if you genuinely want to see a little bit of profit that actually gets you excited and see a little bit of money, $300 to $500. $10 here, $20 here, $30 there. Maybe a $10 or $20 loss sprinkled in there. As long as you end up on the week, up on the month, up on the year, that's what defines a profitable trader. You have more or less money than when you started with, Yeah, appreciate that, Miguel. You did. I saw it. He posted it in the testimonials tab, guys. It's all there for you to see. He's not lying. But Luke's, yes, this is bullish. Yeah, you learn your lesson quick doing that. The indicator follows the rules. All the rules that I've explained over the past hour and 40 minutes, this indicator follows all of them, so you don't have to draw them up yourself. What's my opinion on Fibonacci retracements? I think they're useful in some situations. I think most people misuse them. I think there's a very small amount of the trading population that actually understands how to use them properly. And that's why it's not part of my strategy. We're getting some pullback coming into this. We're getting a little bit of pullback coming into this 4-hour candle, which is to be expected. The only thing that scares me on this Euro JPY chart on the day looks really good. Only thing that scares me on that Euro JPY chart is that sometimes you have wedges like this, and sometimes they fall very quickly. That is the only thing that scares me about this chart. The slow, granular move up often comes with a big drop off. You've seen it many times. Again, slow, gradual move down, and then just an absolute massive move. You see it happen in the market many a times. Aloha, which chart? The one we're on right now? Good to see you again, by the way. Thanks for joining. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about on those. Am I profitable? Yes. I wouldn't be on here live if I wasn't profitable. I just think that's wrong when people come on here and try and teach other people that aren't profitable. Like, if you're not really good at something, or I've been doing this for 15 years. So, like, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah, I think GJ's the move, but we'll see. GJ's coming back down. They all are coming into this last 4 hour or 27 minutes left, 26 minutes and 30 seconds. That's a very loaded question. MP3 Wizard, that is a loaded question. If you stick to a system and you have a winning system and you use every single risk management rule that you're supposed to use in order to maximize profits and minimize losses, and all of those are huge ifs, I mean, it's hard to say. I wouldn't try and put a dollar amount on it. I wouldn't try and put a dollar amount on it. I would say, how many times can you predict where the market is going? How many times can you properly predict where the market's going based on technical analysis? If you can do that more often than not, you'll make money. If you can't do that consistently, and then the emotional side of it, there's just a lot of things that go into that. Loaded question. I think you can make money, though. Yeah. Actually, fuck gold. Wow. But we're going to see here soon. We're going to see here very soon. Nice, man. Good for you. You could watch the streams. You could watch my YouTube. There's many ways to learn. I don't like these candles on USD JPY consolidating right here. Unless they stay consolidating above this zone. Yeah, I mean, crypto futures are tough. Like I said, I mean, the strategy works on a lot of different things. What's up, Leon Perkins? How you doing? The strategy works on a lot of different types of markets, but crypto is heavily dependent on the US dollar. Like it's a lot more unstable than a foreign exchange market that's been around for a lot longer and has market structure. How long can you keep a position open? You can keep a position open as long as you want. I don't like to hold longer than a day. But typically, our when I looked at my average winning trade thing the other day, it's my average winning trades were held for 8 hours. So as of last week, from Sunday to Friday, our average winning trade was an 8-hour hold. Do I love that? Not necessarily. I'd rather it be 1 to 2 hours, but we take what the market gives us based off our strategy. Yeah, they don't always play out. That's correct. And sometimes you hold more drawdown than you'd like to. It happens. It happens to everybody. Do I know any profitable crypto future traders? Yeah, of course. Three to 5 second trades, huh? Wow. Just that big wick scares me on the 4-hour, guys. That big wick on GJ. Coming into a couple fairly strong inverse fair value gaps. You know what I mean? There's a couple strong ones there. Yeah, you certainly can't force trades. Can I explain strategy in a few sentences? Sure. We mark support and resistance zones on the 4-hour time frame. Zoom into the 1-hour time frame and find key levels. Wait for the market to break and retest them, and then enter based off price structure, price action, and market structure. Typically using confirmations like a fair value gap and a EMA ribbon. A candle closure above or below an EMA ribbon typically signifies a movement or change in direction of a chart. Time. Aloha time. For instance, time and number of rejections. On GBP JPY, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different wicks touched this before it went the other way. Granted, you might not have known that right here, but it did end up reversing. That's why we call it a resistance zone, not a resistance, line or a resistance number. It's a zone. It could really be a range of price, and this one's right here. But time and number of rejections really helps you determine if it's a solid support or resistance zone. This I would consider a solid support. Yeah, that's why we call them support and resistance zones. No, I'm not in a trade. You'd see it on the screen if I was. You'd see like something like this if I was in a trade, but I'm not in a trade, no. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Aloha. Look at the retracement on all of these. Tell you what, we're waiting for this 4-hour candle for one, and for two, we're waiting for it to meet all of our rules, which is a clear trend reversal, a candle closure above an EMA ribbon, a fair value gap created, and the technicals to match. Right now, we're looking at buys on most of the JPY pairs, but again, we're waiting for the 4-hour because these wicks are big. The only one that the wick isn't very big on is Euro JPY. But again, Euro CHF is at a very low low. This is the lowest we've seen ever. You would think, psychologically thinking, that it's going to reverse here. We got a massive green 4-hour candle, but it doesn't meet any of our other rules. At least 3. That's always my rule, is at least 3 on the rejections. On a decent time frame too, on a 4-hour or a 1-hour. They work on smaller time frames, but again, we're looking at like overall trend from a zoomed out area. The marked areas. So if we're buying, are we buying to which point? The top of the bottom of the fair value gap, the top of the fair value gap, and then the next point of resistance where you had some wicks, and then the top. Do I think it's going to get there tonight? No, but I think we certainly could catch some movement for sure. We take what the market gives us based off what the structure of the market looks like. So the numbers you see on the side right here, here, let me move it over a little bit, just so if you're on the horizontal stream you can see it. The numbers you see on the side right here are what they would be. That's what your take profits would be on all these charts. I have them marked up already for when we do get in, if we do get in. Again, it has to meet all of our rules though to get in. We got 15 minutes left in this candle too. On almost all of these. And again, we are seeing that M pattern, but we're getting some rejection off the EMA ribbon, which is good news. But we're waiting for this 4-hour candle to see what kind of formation it gives us. Yeah, me too. That's why we wait. Waiting to catch a sell on the top there of GJ. All right, waiting to catch a sell up here. Yeah, there's many ways to go about it. Like I said, there's more than one way to trade and be profitable. If there was one way, everybody would have figured it out and everybody would be profitable. But there's not. $51 subs to go till we get to 1,000, guys. That's wild. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I mean, that wick is nasty. It's a nasty wick right there. On all the charts, too. It's not just that one. The only one that's not wicking down heavily is Euro JPY. That's got 78K on the volume. That's the pair with the most volume other than gold. Euro AUD's also got a ton of volume. Euro AUD's got a ton of volume, but major wicks on both sides with pretty much no price movement. I mean, for the last, yeah. Yeah, right there. I don't know, Miguel, because I'm seeing this. I don't love the 5 and 15-minute scalps. I wish I could take them more often with confidence, but I don't love those. I see what you're seeing, 100%. From the top of this M down to about right here, which would be, yeah, you could catch a little bit there. Again, I just don't know if you're seeing this. But everything's how you read it, you know? Everything's how you read it. And I think you're going off a major trend reversal. Going into the fourth, into a new hour. Yeah, you might wick down a little bit here. But you're going to have a pretty green candle closure on the 4 hour. It could go both ways, though. You know? That's the thing about trading. That can go both ways right now. You could probably make money long-term on a buy and short-term on a sell in the same trade. Just depending on what time frame you want to trade it on. Let's check some volume out here. Euro AUD is just a nasty-looking chart. That's just a nasty-looking chart. A lot of these are not nice-looking charts. Holy rejection candle. Well, take a look at GBP AUD. Take a look at GBP AUD on the 4 hour. So again, if you're looking at it on the 1 hour, it looks like a break and retest to go back up. But then on the 4 hour, if you take a look at it, we got some major wicks at EMA ribbon that look like this thing is going to come down this way and break some lows. Yeah, look at GBP AUD. GBP AUD on the 4 hour looks bearish as hell. Like, extremely. What does the day chart look like? Well, oof, I just don't trust that day chart at all. I don't know. It looks like it's just wicking down off this fair value gap. It tried once. It tried twice. This looks like it's the third try. That's what it looks like to me. But that 4 is... Holy wick. You know what I mean? That's a hell of an open. Euro GBP. That market open candle. And look at that support. Euro GBP on this support dating back to the 7th of September 2025. So to answer whoever's question that was about how do you know a strong support? Well, it hasn't broken really this, other than, again, this is a zone. It's not just a line. We haven't been this low since, here, we'll use in front of that as an example. September 16th. So what is that? September, October, November, December, January. Almost 6 months. And then it rejected it here, rejected it here, rejected it here, and it's rejected it here over the past 4 days and 12 hours again. That looks like a buy. We're going to see what happens here in 7 minutes with this new candle. For GBP AUD, I thought I marked it. Did I not mark it? Oh, I must have marked the wrong one. Are you talking about GBP AUD? Oh, yeah. If it could break the previous 1 hour candle. And retest, you'd sell it. Fair enough. Yeah, the 1 hour is iffy. But if it closes bearish, that'd be 3 straight hours of bearish closes. But again, you're at a flip right here. So the 4 hour looks nice, but we could get retracement up this wick like we did here. A lot of wicks on here. Where price wick down, came back up. Price wick down, came back up. But the bodies are relatively in the same spot of the candles. But the wicks got some major long wicks right here. See what these 1 hour charts are doing. 80,000 on Euro JPY. It's wild. Asian session market open's a big deal, man. It's typically we have the highest volume of the week. Sunday nights. But yeah, we're going to see what happens on these 4 hour candles. Coming into the last 4 minutes here, we should get a lot of movement on a lot of these charts. USD JPY rejected market open from last week off this fair value gap right here. Like we said, Euro JPY only really solid looking buy because GJ wicked down hard. I mean, look at that 4-hour candle wick. And then again, like I said, I really like the Euro CHF buys. Unfortunately, it only meets 2 of our rules. We have, you know, a clear reversal. It's been reversing for, or out of support for 3 days. So you've got your reversal. You're going to have a bearish engulfing, or a bullish engulfing, excuse me. But you don't have much room to grow. And you've got a FVG in the way. But like I said, we're at low lows. Lowest in history right now was... Lowest in history price was right here. But the euro looks like it's buying everywhere. So that is a solid that we are seeing bullish pressure on the euro across all euro pairs. You know what I mean, guys? So we are seeing that. Claire, what's going on? How are you? How you doing, Claire? Two minutes, guys. Actually, 1 minute and 11 seconds. Just add in some alerts, make sure we don't miss anything. What do you got? A minute? 2 seconds. Alright, here's our new candle, guys. New 4-hour and new 1-hour candle. We're going to see what happens here. Boy, those wicked down. Something light. Boy, did those wick down. Look at those huge wicks. It stayed bullish. It closed bullish. It closed green. Those wicks are just massive. We created a pretty nice fair value gap on the Schubert, what's up, man? What's going on? Well, we're looking. We just got a new 4-hour candle. We're looking at buys on a couple of these. Wow, that almost closed red. We're looking at buys on a couple of these charts here. I'm looking to see what these candles are printing. I think these are going to retest open, market open. Because if it comes back down to retest market open, you're looking at 26 pips. But that'd be the worst drawdown you'd hold, right? So if you got in for buys and you held, because ideally I think overall it's going up. The bottom of the fair value gap and the actual point of the EMA ribbon is between 40 and 50 pips. Ideally, you don't want to hold that, right? So if you look here, we got above the EMA ribbon, we had a bullish. Yeah, so what this is going to wait for, this bullish fair value gap to be completed. Because fair value gaps are 3 candle patterns, right? So it needs to have this candle and this candle fully printed on the 4 hour before it gives us a 4 hour signal. But on the 1 hour, again, going back to that, we got all that on the 1 hour, but we're getting retracement. Nice. Yeah, it's only available on my website. It's an invite-only indicator, but you're more than welcome. Tell you what, now I look at Euro CHF more and more. It's looking like the better of the trades. That's a nasty looking chart on the hour. Break and retest, you think? That's what it looks like to me. Looks like a full-on break. Retest the zone. Drive down. Your zone's really right here. You know what I mean? That's really what you're looking at there, unless those tiny candles decide to reverse. Same with Euro GBP. A lot of interesting charts here tonight, guys. A lot of interesting charts here. Oh, it closed bearish. What did it do on the 4? Whew, that is just a nasty wick. It's just a really nasty wick. I'm analyzing these right now, guys. I like what I'm seeing the best on Euro JPY, to be quite honest with you. And I think USD JPY is probably going to retrace that candle because we just got that ribbon flip on the 4 hour. That's what leads me to believe that this is going to keep going. We got the ribbon flip on all 3, actually. GJ, Euro JPY, and USD JPY. We'll wait until that first 15-minute candle to get in anything. See what we get on that 15-minute candle. and we'll make a decision if it's something we want to get in. And Miguel, exactly what you and I were talking about earlier, where it was going to make the M here, and then I think go. I think that's what we're seeing. Again, still an uptrend. Looking at Euro JPY. Higher highs, higher lows, big fair value gap being used as support. I like Euro CHF too. What about Euro USD? I can take a look. Gotta find it. I don't know why I can never find that chart. Yeah, again, Euro USD. It rejected what is I would consider a somewhat weak support, just because it's only dating back to the 25th. It's a 5-day support. The overall trend, it looks like it is reversing. I just don't like this area right here. There's not much room to go. Maybe 10, top of the zone 20. Indecisive. I wouldn't take the trade personally, Ovilla. I would love to answer you, but I don't actually speak Spanish. What does that say? How can you get into trading? Watch the streams or go on my YouTube channel. Look at my 3 series videos on how to trade. That's going to be your best bet, to be honest with you, man. I don't care who you find as a mentor, but find one and stick to their strategy. Umarverse, right now, we're still looking. Like I said, I like a couple of these charts, but I need to see a little more confirmation that we're not going to end up getting reversed on here. Because it only happened to us once last week, and it was that candle right there. I don't trade gold, man. Nah, look at gold. I don't trade gold. Although it does look like it's going to go down, but it uses too much of your account. It has no market structure. It doesn't have much market structure. It was parabolic for the past year and a half. You can catch small movements because it's such large amount of money that it uses on your account, but it is pretty much parabolic for 2+ years. Yes, you can. Good investment long term, sure. Day trading, I personally don't like it. But everybody has their own strategy. I understand that, so. Alright, fuck these 4-hour charts. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see here. Like that Euro GBP chart. Nice, man. Well, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you joining. Got that M pattern down on the JPY pairs. All of them. Double topped on the 15. They all double topped on the 15. I'm glad, Miguel. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you've learned. Because you know what? A little purpose, you know? I would watch the playlist video. Not video. Videos in the playlist. I'm going to send it to you right now. Start with part 1. Oops. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sure ChatGPT's got a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I agree with you there, Miguel. Trading alone will have your head messed up. See what I'm saying? A lot of these charts that we were looking at, that we were like, we're solid on, they've all kind of flipped on us, and that's why we're not in anything yet. I have no problem being patient. I have no fear of missing out. Like, if you're looking at these charts going, oh, we missed this move down for 27 pips, or we missed this move up for 27 pips. Well, none of them meet our criteria, to be quite honest with you. I would rather take the same trade that meets my criteria over and over and over again than trying to catch random pips up and down. Because I know there's people saying, oh, there's a couple missed opportunities here. I'm sure there are. There's always going to be missed opportunities. I'd rather have a bunch of missed opportunities and some wins than a lot of losses and no missed opportunities. That's a new feature too, guys. You can have it send you push notifications straight to your phone when it does do buy and sell. That's a new feature that was just added recently, like a day or two ago. I gotta be honest with you guys, I may wait till London session to take anything if we don't get anything nice on these 15-minute charts. Because these 15-minute charts continue to look and the hour charts continue to look the way they look. Might not trade to London session tonight. I don't like anything. I like buys right here. I take that back. I like buys on Euro CHF. That's my number one. GBP CAD, I personally like sells. But we just broke a zone and we're coming to a strong... You're right at market open from last week. Euro GBP is in between a fair value gap and at a EMA ribbon in between two zones. AUD USD opened up bullish and is 4-hour candles done nothing spectacular so far. And GBP AUD sells I like, but again, we closed green even though we had a huge wick. You also had a huge wick this way. So like looking at these charts right now, there's nothing that's really wowing me that I'm like, oh, we need to get in this right now. Like, this is a really good trade. Yeah, I mean, structure flipped on a lot of these. Structure flipped on a lot of these. And the only reason that I like buys on Euro CHF, other than we are starting to get a ribbon flip, is that this is the lowest low it's ever been at. You're going to get a little bit of retracement, at least for some pips. Things don't just keep dropping, just like gold didn't continue to just keep going. It eventually sold off. It's just, when is the eventually? You know what I mean? Is the eventually now? I don't want to be the guinea pig. Much rather hop on the trend after it happens than be the guinea pig that loses an account over it. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about too. It's wild to me that all those JPY charts just absolutely reversed. Who was asking about liquidity earlier? Someone was asking about how do you know? How can you tell if it's a liquidity draw or... Well, when it breaks highs... Something light, guys. Hey, we broke 3,000 views for the first time. That's pretty cool, guys. 3,000 views, 951 subs. Appreciate you guys. I gotta be honest with you guys, I really don't like anything. If anyone sees a chart they want me to look at, I will certainly take a look at it. But I don't have enough confidence in any of these charts meeting my rules to take a trade right now. So if anyone has a chart they want me to look at, I certainly will. Karmatashi, what's going on? How are you? Foreign exchange pair. I should have said that. A foreign exchange pair. Best platform to give it a try. I'll give you the answer right here. Luke's. There you go, man. That's the best broker in my opinion. Best platform, best analytics, best spreads. I knew someone was going to say that. I'll look at it. I'll look at it. We talked about it. I've had these zones. I have had these zones on these charts for weeks. For weeks. And what did I say? I said this last week. And it's hilarious. Everyone said, what is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin going to do? I said, if it breaks here... If it breaks this yellow line, you'll see 84. I said if it breaks 84, you're going to see 81. If it breaks 81, you're going to see 74. they're just key zones. It's not, it really isn't rocket science either. It's just, hey, where are the key zones? Are they being broken? Are they being retested? And if they are, yeah, Bitcoin's bearish. And you're coming to a support on Bitcoin that dates back to all the way back in April. Let's go look at the day chart here. Bitcoin hasn't been this low since the last time before April was Friday, November 8th of 2024. It formed a big head and shoulders pattern, but there's your Bitcoin chart right there. It's still dropping. Will you get some rejection at the 74,000 area? Most likely. Most likely. For how much volume we have in this market right now, there's no clear breakouts. There's some reversals for sure, but all of our breakouts would have gotten us faked out. Which I'm glad that we waited for this 4-hour candle. I tell you what, you get a bullish close on Euro GBP. You get a bullish close on the next hour. The 4 freaks me out. I don't even like that. Scratch it. If you guys see a chart that I'm missing, go ahead and let me know in the chat. But I do not think I am. I think that we have exhausted our opportunities here. USD CAD might move. And all of these have a ton of volume, more than enough volume to make a move. Well, that looks like a sell, if I've ever seen one. GBP NZD could sell. AUD CAD with the massive back gap down and then absolute huge move up. CAD JPY is in the middle of a zone. Yeah, nothing's doing it for me. It's not that they, Luke's good question. It's not that they ignored the support. It looks like they're going to go in the direction we want, but we don't have a good enough signal that it's going to happen yet. Like all of our key points that we marked. So for instance, on USD JPY, we rejected the past week's market open twice. But we also have a fair value gap and a buy signal. So it's like stuck between a rock and a hard place, between here and here. Until we get a breakout that shows us it's going to go one of these ways, or a break and a retest that it's going to go one of these ways, I don't really want to risk my capital on it. You know what I mean? Same with Euro JPY. So Euro JPY was bullish. We had a nice bullish candle right here. And then we had two bearish candles following that. So on here, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place again, here and here, waiting to see if this is going to go this way or if this is going to go this way. So it's consolidating between a previous high and a fair value gap on this one. Same with GJ. So there was GJ's last week market open. That's where we went as the high for this market open. Here's our fair value gap and our buy signal that we've been holding. When you look at that right there, all those combined, ideally this goes up. But you could see this retest this zone. And I don't know about you, but with the lot size that I use, I don't necessarily want to hold 52 pips and find out. So again, just not meeting all of the rules, meeting most of them, just not 100% meeting all of them is what gives me the notion of being a little nervous about getting in any of these. And that's just because they don't meet the rules. And again, I don't have any fear of missing out on missing a trade. There'll be plenty of trades. There's plenty of days. There's plenty of sessions. Literally, the Forex market's 23 hours a day. You can trade this market 23 hours a day. Six days a week, 23 hours a day. But I do like the rejection we're seeing. All of these, it looks like they were retesting this area on the hour, which is good. Yeah, Euro CHF. Oh, USD CHF. Yeah, possibly. It's not a bad analysis there, Mission Crowny. You might get pulled back to right here, and then have it go. Certainly possible. It meets. We're waiting for a bullish fair value gap. It's already closed above. No 1 hour fair value gap created. Got our support and our resistance here. No signal on it though. And again, I'm not only trading off the indicator, I'm also trading off my own knowledge and technical analysis. But again, the indicator is coded off me, my rules. So like the fact that we're not getting a signal on any of these just confirms further that the indicator that was coded for me is also not seeing what I'm analyzing live in front of you guys. And that's really the main benefit to this whole indicator thing, is that I can confirm live with you guys that I have an AI robot that is programmed to literally tell me buy and sell based off these 5 things. I already know these 5 things in my mind, so I'm looking at it while this is analyzing it, and we're both agreeing we haven't gotten a signal. So, something to be said for that. Just not seeing anything. There's your M pattern finished off with rejection, Miguel. Right there. On GJ. Last time it was here, it did this exact same candle. Look at this. These are mirror images of each other, guys. Look how wild that is. One big candle, a bunch of small ones. This one was 3 candles. Bunch of small ones. Big old wick off the EMA, big old wick off the EMA. Bounced off the fair value gap here and went. That looks like a smiley face. Didn't even intend that, but yeah, you were correct. It was good analysis. I'm just not in the business of taking that trade. You know what I mean? Like the M 15-minute pattern going against an overall uptrend. There's something in me that just will not allow me to take that. And it's fine. I have no problem missing that. You know what I mean? I'm not losing sleep over the, because I think we talked about it after that second 15-minute candle. Over that move. I'm happy missing that move every day. Everyone keeps bringing up Euro USD. I'm just going to mark it so I can have it up top. Where is that thing? There it is. I'll move it up here. The Euro USD looks long. But you're thinking the same thing on the... I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Aloha, which chart? Which chart? It's a good question. Just which chart so I can look at it again. Yeah, Euro USD certainly could come back down again here. Oh, this one right here. Euro JPY. Yeah. It was either Euro JPY or, sorry, USD JPY. It was actually GJ. Sorry. Yeah, this one right here. But yeah, I think it's consolidating up here. The 15-minute candle is looking like it's going to retrace. But this was market open right here. So see this here. Let me get rid of everything just so you can see the naked chart here. This was market open. Market open gapped up. Just for market open, gapped up at 14 pip gap up from market close on Friday at whatever 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 p.m. on Sunday today, 2.5 hours ago. It gapped up. Typically when you see that, that means that the pair is bullish for like the week. Because if you look at Euro JPY, let's look at Euro JPY on the 4 hour. This was last week's market open. Right here. Right? Let me just double check that. Yep, 7 days ago. This was last week's market open. Again, massive gap down. 61 pips off that first 4-hour candle gap down. So, and this was that yellow line. We had this yellow line here, right? It stayed bearish the whole week, other than us making some buys right here, and we made money off that for, I believe it was, we made a nice 20 to 30 pips right there on this little swing after consolidation. This week, here's market open, guys. Here's market open this week. Let me go to the 1 hour. That's your market open right here. So the difference between market open and close last week, realistically, was almost nothing. But again, it was a gap up from where it was. It was a bullish candle on market open. Bobon, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. So again, a gap up is going to signal it's going to be bullish for the week. It can certainly do things throughout the week, but same with USD JPY. USD JPY, complete gap up to open the market right here. For 4 or 5 pips. And now we're rejecting the zone again. Which leads me to believe that these are going to keep moving upward. But our key zone is this yellow line. and we have not broken that. Again, market open from last week. Market open from this week. But Euro JPY, again, looks like it's rejecting pretty good on the hour. Same with GJ. GBP CAD's really actually pretty solid looking. GBP CAD looks pretty good. But on the 4, again, on the 4 it doesn't meet our criteria. On the 1 it does. On the 1 it 100% does. We could take buys on, and it's got no fair value gap to mess with. For 30 plus pips, you could take buys on GBP CAD. Technicals on the day, pretty much everything's a buy. Everything's buy on this. Even the 15 consolidated on this chart. Check this out, guys. We consolidated on the 15 on this fair value gap. I actually like this chart a lot. I think GBP CAD's pretty bullish. What do you guys think? GBP CAD looks pretty solid to me. That's the only thing I've seen. I'm not going to force a trade tonight. I don't force trades, but the only thing that I've seen so far that I'd be willing to touch is GBP CAD. Oops. All over the place with this cursor today, huh? The trend is up. Yeah, the only thing I'd be willing to touch is that, guys. So, I think we're going to call it for tonight. I don't like any of these trades. The only thing I'd say that we could possibly get in is on the hour chart, GBP CAD does meet all of our requirements. We didn't get a retest yet. So you could see a retest before it goes, but GBP CAD's the only thing that I would see is possible. And again, I've coded this strategy that you see right here to meet every single one of my requirements, and we haven't gotten it. So if me on live stream analyzing it is not doing it, and the Matt strategy, trading with Matt Pro, buy and sell, is not seeing it, pretty good chances, guys, that we're not missing something. It just doesn't meet our rules. So, no trade tonight, guys. Doesn't mean I won't take one later. If I send one, I'll certainly send it in the Discord for everyone. Yeah, Euro USD. Yeah, it's been bearish for a little bit here, and it looks like, again, it looks like it's rejecting since the 25th. I agree with you, and it does have some room to grow. It does have some room to grow, about 15 pips. Certainly does. Every time it's hit this line, it's grown too. Every time it's hit this zone, it's grown. But I just hate trading against an overall trend, you know what I mean? There's still an overall downtrend. Lower highs, oops, sorry. Lower highs, lower lows. It's an overall downtrend still. I hate trading against a trend. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. I mean, I appreciate everyone tuning in today. No trades for us tonight. I'm not liking anything. But that's not to say I may not send something out later. So far, GBP CAD's the only thing that I really like, but we're going to wait to see what happens here over the next couple hours. I appreciate you guys joining, though. Let me get some claps in here. It was a good stream. It was a really good stream. We had a lot of people. It broke the record for views. Jose, good to see you. I'm glad you joined, man. We had the most viewers we've ever had. So, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night for Asian session at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, guys? Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, guys.